Second video. If you did not get my first video, my name is Benjamin Herrera. I am a type 1 diabetic, and I do have kidney failure, which I got dialysis. I do dialysis. Now, on today's video, I plan on talking more about symptoms to both diabetes and symptoms to kidney failure. Now, I did not go too much detail on my other video, but on this one, okay, there are two types of diabetes. There's type 1, which your body does not have much insulin or does not make insulin at all, which you have to rely on shots or on a pump. Now, if you do shots, depending on the insulin that you are taking, depends on the shots. Now, you could take one shot a day, and it's a long-term insulin, or you do multiple shots during the day as you eat your meals. And as far as the insulin, the reason for the insulin is that when your body it develops insulin, it takes out sugars that you do need for your body. It takes out the waste that you don't need. And with the waste, of course, you urinate and you release the bad urine, or you release the bad sugars. Now, when you don't have insulin, you don't make this. And you are not able to separate the bad sugars with the good sugars, which, granted, it ain't technical terms. It's just me telling you exactly what, it is. Now, type 1, like I said, does that. Type 2, you do have insulin. You just need help, which with pills you get the help that you need. Now, facts are that I did read. It doesn't really, either diabetes does not have a certain age that it affects you. You could be any age, any race, pretty much anyone can get diabetes. Now, where they find out most times is by mid-30s, late 30s. And it has happened that infants have diabetes. And here is an actual fact that 1.25 million Americans have type 1 diabetes. So there's quite a bit of us that that have it. All right, now as far as the symptoms go, it just, okay. If you get where you're tired and you're constantly resting and you're still tired, you have constant urination that you need to go do, you have an appetite, and like even though you eat, you're still hungry, you're still thirsty after drinking a good amount of water. You still have that dry taste in your mouth that like you need water. Fruitness in your breath, which is a good sign that you do need to go see your doctor. Now, as far as like me, when I found out, I was 18 years old. I had just decided to stop doing athletics, and for some odd reason I was more tired, which I could not explain. Uh, this went on for about a month, and then finally I decided, you know what, I need to go to a doctor, find out what's going on. The day I went to my doctor, I did a reading on the meter. It said high. Me not really knowing what's going on, just was like, oh, okay, say hi back to it. Not the way to go. They did some more blood work. I went home. The doctor actually tried getting a hold of me. Granted, this is the time when cell phones were not as popular, so it was kind of hard for him to get a hold of me. But once they got a hold of me, my sugars were 795, which in an average person it should be about 120, 130, depending on what you eat or what you have eaten right before getting your sugar checked. So 795, I should have not been walking. And they even asked me in the emergency room, how is it that you walked in here? And I had no idea what they were talking about. How is it that I walked in there? But yeah, definitely. If you get the symptoms, of course, nowadays it's a lot easier for the doctors to get you into a hospital and take care of you what you need to get done. Um, that was pretty much how I found out. Like, I was tired and I went to a doctor, and even that way, the doctor was like, okay, well, we need to do this right away. And he actually is still my doctor. And he's a very good doctor, and he's a very good guy. Um, if I would have had more sense, I probably would have listened to him more on what I needed to have done back when I found out I was diabetic. I fortunately did not. I went completely opposite, and I spend a lot of times in the emergency room. And that's not the way to go with this. Um, but I learned. It took me a while to learn, but I learned. Now, as far as my kidney failure, symptoms were completely different. Like, I was gaining weight. I started with a swellness on my left leg. And at first I thought, well, it was just a little bit of swollenness. So I thought I had popped it. You know what? It'll eventually go away. Um, that was a couple of months ago, and it did not go away. And instead of going away, my knee went from just being swollen to my feet being swollen to my testicle area being swollen. And I went from weighing 145 to close to 200 pounds. And when they first checked me out, they knew I had kidney failure, but they were not sure how to go with it. And being that I'm a young person, they did not want to do dialysis. They wanted me to do water pills, and hopefully with water pills, be able to just urinate and get rid of my fluids. But it ended up that I let it go so far that my lungs got 95% of water, And the only way I was comfortable at even breathing was I was on morphine. And being in the hospital every day for 7 days on just morphine is not a way to live. Finally, because it falls on my parents if on how they want me to well, if I can't respond, they're the ones that have to respond for me. And finally, my dad was talking to my mom, telling her that, you know what, our son is just on morphine. That's the only thing keeping him alive, keeping him breathing. We need him to go on dialysis. So they talked to the doctor, and that evening, I had a tube that actually went into my throat. And that first evening, they took out about 20 pounds of liquid. And the following day, they took another 20 pounds. And even that way, the doctor was still, he had a temporary dialysis tube on me. So they still tried to do water pills. Took a couple of days later, they realized that that was not working. I had gotten back to gaining weight again, and me and my doctor actually had to have a conversation about me being on dialysis. And since I've been on dialysis, I've been doing good. Of course, like I told you on the other video, I do have my moments where I'm tired and it just kind of like drains me, but other than that, I'm doing good, you know. Now, this one, like I said, this video I did not do too much where I'm like, hopefully y'all don't take it that I was like, you know, being pity for myself or that. I mean, hopefully y'all do understand that, you know, I'm trying to help people out. Um, I'm new to doing this, so like, I hope that eventually y'all do understand that, you know, I'm trying to let y'all know off of my experiences what not to do and what to do. Granted, like I said, I mean, a lot of things I've done is not the right way of going with this diseases, but hopefully eventually that y'all do understand that, hey, you know what? It's just me being me, trying to help y'all. And I hope y'all do understand that, you know, like I said, these diseases are not something to play with. You know, both diabetes and kidney failure are very serious. They don't get the attention that they need, but they do get the attention. I mean, you know, like I said, millions of people do have it, but it usually takes people to actually have it in their family or someone to actually get it for people to be like, oh, wait, you know what? These are serious things. And it needs to be aware that, you know, hey, you know what? No, this is, you know, something that people live with. But thank y'all for listening to me. Hopefully, you know, I get more likes and I'll do another video probably in a couple of days. I've been thinking about how I'm going to be doing the videos, but this week I'll probably do 3 videos this week, and after that we'll see how it goes. So thank you very much, and y'all just have a good day.